This is a meeting of the Township of Vernon for Monday, April 28th, 2014. Adequate notice of this regular meeting was provided to the public and to the press on January 8th, 2014, and was posted at the municipal building in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act.
Please call the roll.
Councilmember Kadish.
Here.
Councilmember Murphy. Here. Councilmember Rizzuto. Here. Councilmember Wetzel.
Here.
Council President Lynch.
Here. Will you please join me with the salute to the flag? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Should we get him his New Jersey flag and stuff?
No.
Right?
Love the tournament.
Okay, tonight, for our first presentation, we have Anne-Marie Schaefer of the Vernon Coalition. Anne-Marie,
We also have Gemma Chalkley of the Vernon Coalition.
thank you for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Hi, Gemma.
Gemma is the youth coordinator of the Vernon Coalition. I am the coordinator of the coalition. We thank you all for being here. Thank you, council members, for accepting our invitation. We'll get right into it. We have the Vernon Coalition is a program of the Center for Prevention and Counseling in Newton. The Center for Prevention and Counseling in Newton has been addressing substance abuse prevention, bringing families from poverty to prosperity for the last 40 years. They're the only agency in Sussex County of that nature. In 2010, there were 5 heroin overdose deaths of 20-year-olds in Vernon. They were all 2008 graduates of Vernon Township High School. Because of the concern over those deaths, a very concerned group of community members, stakeholders, school personnel, parents, they all came to the Center for Prevention and Counseling in Newton, and together they decided to form a group, and they applied for and received a 5-year federal grant called the Vernon Coalition. The Vernon Coalition is a DFC, Drug-Free Community Coalition, and it is a 5-year grant. Our main office is the Office of National Drug Control Policy out of Washington, D.C. And CADCA is an organization, the Community Anti-Drug Coalitions of America. There are about 650 DFC, drug-free coalitions throughout the United States. And this is a 5-year grant. As I said, after 5 years, we can apply for another 5 years, and this grant maxes out at 10 years. The Center for Prevention and Counseling has experience with these grants. They've actually maxed out and have a county coalition, a drug-free coalition that addresses the entire county, called the Sussex County Coalition for Healthy and Safe Families. So Becky Carlson and Barbara Adolph at the center have had experience with these coalitions. Jem and I are now the coordinators of the Vernon Coalition. As I said, we're in our 3rd year here in Vernon. This is our vision. We have a vision. We have a mission. We go to community events. What we're responsible for, go ahead, John, is engaging all community members, because substance abuse is not is nonpartisan. It affects all families, it affects all races, and it affects all communities, whether they are big or small. And often when we go out and present to Vernon, we get the question, well, what happened with Vernon? What's with Vernon? And I think Vernon got hit hard. However, what's great and different about Vernon is that you had community members who cared enough to do something about, something really constructive with this community coalition. And in engaging all community members, we have been to many events. I don't know if anybody, show of hands, has seen us at events, has come to our meetings. Nobody wants to admit it. Oh, here we go, yes. You can find us on Facebook and on Twitter. And the Vernon Coalition Youth Group also has its own Facebook page. Go ahead. What will this coalition do? These are the things we hope to do in the community. Go ahead. We're going to work to reduce underage alcohol use, address youth use of marijuana. But what does marijuana and underage alcohol use have to do with heroin? So 15,521. Anybody want to take a stab at what those numbers mean? Youth that drink under the age of 15 are 5 times more likely to develop serious problems with alcohol than those that wait till they're 21 to drink. It's only since the 70s that brain scans and imaging of brains told us that the brain does not fully develop until the age of 29. Prior to 1970, and until they started getting MRIs of the brain, we thought it was fully developed by the age of 12. And one of the reasons they thought that was the brain physically developed and got as large as it would get by the age of 12. But the inner changes and the dynamic changes of the brain go well into the age of 25. How do we know what the local problems are and if our efforts are part of the solution in Vernon? In Vernon Township schools, we're responsible for every 2 years we are doing drug surveys. The County Coalition has been doing those surveys for the last 12 or more years. We do email surveys, individual and group focus groups, key informant interviews. We go and talk to kids at schools who have those problems. We go and talk to family members. People email us, call us, also local data, crime statistics. So we do have some local problems that were identified. In order to apply and receive this grant, we had to say what the problem was and what we were going to do to address it. And one of the things that's very common all over is that adults and older siblings supplying alcohol to younger youth, almost as if a rite of passage that someone did it for them. The community perception that marijuana use is harmless. And that's not only in Vernon. With the passage of medical marijuana and now the passage of recreational marijuana in Colorado and Washington, all of our perceptions need the facts. So, actually, if you want to play that, I don't know if anybody heard that. Not playing? That's okay.
You know, alcohol is the leading drug problem among youth. It interferes with brain development and places us at higher risk for academic problems. And if you allow my underage friends to drink in our home, you can face up to 6 months in jail and a $1,000 fine. You wouldn't want that, would you?
You may not hear your child say this, but it is fact. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
So one of the
By the Vernon Coalition, the Vernon Municipal Alliance, and Clear Channel Tri-State.
So one of the campaigns we do have, if you've seen the signs, if you supported them, we put them in yards, people call us and ask for them. One of the ways we knew we could affect change was to bring parents up to speed with how supplying alcohol or keeping them home and collecting the keys. I know when I even talked to a state trooper once who told me, my mother did it, that's what was done. Because they didn't know better, but now we're educating them and teaching them how that leads to addiction. Keeping tracks of for the parental support of pledges on our Facebook page helps parents go to our Facebook page and say, oh, this other person also supports that, to know who their friends are and who their kids' friends are and what their parents are supporting. I'm going to let Gemma talk this quick.
As Anne Marie mentioned, my name is Gemma Schwapple, Youth Coordinator for the Vernon Coalition, and I do a lot with the Above the Influence campaign. It's a national campaign that was created and implemented by the Office of National Drug Control Policy. So basically, it's geared toward youth empowerment and inspires our teens to take a stand against negative influences. So when I go into our youth group, we actually have a youth group meeting at Lansbury Hollow, Glen Meadow, and the high school. We meet monthly. So when I ask students who are new to the meeting and say, what does it mean to you to be above the influence? A lot of the times they say to be above alcohol and drugs, which is right, that's perfect. Of course it's to be above alcohol and other drugs. But what we want people to understand is above the influence isn't only about being above alcohol and other drugs. It's about being above anything negative, anything that can make you feel less than you and lead to a negative consequence. So we work with being above the influence of bullying, peer pressure, gossip, drama, breaking curfew, talking back to your teacher, anything that can lead to a negative influence. So what we do is we blanket the community with the Above the Influence arrow. Is anyone in here familiar with Above the Influence or seen the arrow? A few of you, okay. So we're working hard to blanket the community with the Above the Influence arrow and logo. We don't only meet monthly at schools. We try to think outside the box. So we recently participated in the Above the Influence Made by Me commercial challenge. Has anyone seen Above the Influence commercials on TV? A few of you, okay. So basically, Above the Influence put a challenge out there for our youth around the country. They were looking for the next idea to use as a commercial to create, to put on television. So we actually had a youth group of 12 of our Vernon youth meet and work together to brainstorm. We actually brought in local broadcasting broadcaster from Sussex County Community College to kind of give the kids some tips on how to best present their idea. So we had 3 Vernon youth actually put forth their idea, and it made it up to the Above the Influence website. So with that, youth from around the country were able to view their ideas, and they were able to vote for their best commercial. Granted, we did not win as the commercial to now be put on television, which actually somebody told me today that they saw the new commercial on television, so it's up and running. But we are actually working with, again, Sussex County Community College to turn it into a local commercial. We've pushed into community events. We work in collaboration with school events. We have camp opportunities, week-long camp opportunities, weekend camp opportunities to practice refusal skills, leadership. So really what we try to push forth to our youth are, be a leader as opposed to a follower. Kind of create your own path and don't let anybody else define you, especially our high schoolers who are going to be off to college, and there's so many different directions and so many different responsibilities. Once they have their core and they know who they are, that's important, imperative to take with them when they go on further. So what we do is we offer a lot of incentives for the students to kind of help them understand that it's very colorful, it's very vibrant, it's very exciting. It's not just, it's more than just an after school, we do weekend events and, like I said, week-long camp opportunities. So we have all incentives. We gave them t-shirts, sunglasses, backpacks. We actually just created, these are my favorite, Frisbees. So if you might see these going around. And here's a picture of some of our youth from camp. So again, it's really geared toward youth empowerment, and it's all about inspiring our peers to take a stand against negative influences. We have Above the Influence logo contest. All of our kids participated in a logo contest, and they get to decorate it any which way they want to, because so many kids they're so creative. They have so much to bring to the table. Am I missing anything? Nope, I think that's good. Yep. Sticker shock. So, has anyone ever heard of a sticker shock event? Oh, good, a few of you. So what we do is, upon approval, we'll take our youth group to the local liquor stores in Vernon, and I do have to say that they're all so supportive of our efforts. So while we're in there, we especially do it before Super Bowl, holidays, summer vacation, whenever we kind of think the liquor stores are going to be a little bit busier. So what we do is our youth actually place these stickers on each alcohol package in the liquor store. And it says, "Keep it legal. The penalty for providing alcohol to people under 21 is up to 180 days in jail and a fine up to $1,000. And it's really neat that our youth are out there doing it. Anne Marie and I, can be doing it, but it means so much more when the community sees how engaged and motivated and dedicated our youth are to make positive change throughout their community. And it's really neat when people do enter the liquor store and they kind of give us a second take because there's youth in the liquor store. That allows our youth to engage with them and let them understand that we're spreading awareness and getting the education out there in a very fun, effective way.
We've had tips trainings for local servers and sellers of alcohol, all the restaurants. Actually, Smokies is our next one. You have had participants who will come to our different ones, but we'll continue to bring new alcohol servers up to speed on the safest selling and serving of alcohol. Sustainability. I just wanted to back up what Gemma said. As far as the youth actually placing stickers and the youth seeing this, today's day and age, kids don't drink like they used to. Kids today drink to get drunk. They not only do, they have games, flip cup, beer pong, quarters. They sell these games readily and available everywhere. So it's a different culture. Kids are different. The games are different. Drinking's different. So if they're always seeing that, I had an article here. If they're always seeing that message, who else and where else are they going to see a different message? This was a commercial for coupons in the mail, and it has 2 people playing, and it says the time to play is now. Kids see this stuff subliminally. So when parents give the message that really isn't what, the world isn't out there having a party, that there are, more responsible ways to take care of your brain until you are 21. We are a group addressing youth substance abuse and youth underage drinking, and hopefully that will also be sustainable in the community as those youth grow. What can anybody do? Like us on Facebook. support our message. If you have an extra spot in an ad magazine you don't know what to do with, or somebody has a banner, always supporting that message somehow so kids see it otherwhere, so the community sees it. So it's not just, through the coalition, and we do have supporters who do that. Actually, I'd like to, Bruce, can I tell us what you told us last year? Bruce was, he supported us last year and provided all the food for our town hall meeting on underage drinking, which again is this coming Wednesday night. So if you'd like to RSVP, do that online or out in the hall. And when I called Bruce for a donation, he said to me, I'm gonna get this right. He said, it's my responsibility to address underage drink. He said, it's my responsibility to address alcohol issues in the community because I also serve alcohol in the community. And that was really, I said to him, could you say that again? Wrote it down. So that's really great to have people like that on our side. I told you we'd be done in 15 minutes. So that's it.
I'd like to introduce, we have a special guest with us as a wrap-up. I would like to introduce one of our youth, Jenna McDonald. She is so inspiring to be around. She is a key component to our youth group, and she is so motivated and dedicated to make change in this community and inspire her peers. So,
I'm Jenna McDonald. I am a sophomore at Vernon Township High School, and with the support of my mom and dad, as well as my advisors, Gemma Chalkley and Anne-Marie Schaefer, I have been able to grow as an individual through my work with the Vernon Coalition. I started participating in sticker shocks in the March of 2013, which led to me being a part of a county-wide campaign called Celebrate Without Alcohol. From this, I would attend 2 life-changing camps, one of them being the Lindsay Meyer Teen Institute, a statewide leadership conference of New Jersey. The Vernon Coalition has given me the courage to return to this camp this summer, yet this time I will be a part of their Youth Advisory Council, a very humbling honor. Above the Influence and the Vernon Coalition has taught me that being drug and alcohol-free is the best thing for me. I am proud to be a part of this group and wholeheartedly support what we stand for. And if it wasn't really for this group, I wouldn't be standing talking to everyone here. Before this, I was very shy and never was one to stand up and present in class. And from this, I have met so many amazing people, so many amazing teens. I've witnessed so many inspirational speakers that I can't imagine my life without having this experience in it. And I cannot wait for what is to come in my journey with them. Thank you.
Isn't a lot of time, so I really do encourage you to go to our Facebook page, find our information, like us on Facebook, get our updates. If you're not on our email list, we'd like to include you, and we just have a small little present for you all. There you go. I hope you... Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. There you go.
Thank you.
Candy, little boy? Candy, little boy?
Yeah. I'm yours for jelly bean.
Forget it. You want to do this together? She wants us.
Wait with her. Come on, Jen.
Nice job. Thanks. Nice job.
The next presentation will be by the way, thank you, Anne-Marie. And we see your signs, parents that host lose the most around town, and I like to see more of them. That would be great.
Thank you.
Our next presentation will be the EDAC, the Shop Vernon program. Tonight with us, we have the members of the EDAC, George Nikonoroff, Arthur Alvine, Elmer Platts, Teresa Vitti, and Antonius Avramides.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the presentation this evening. Before I start, I'd like to take a moment to recognize our esteemed mayor and council for passing the associated ordinances and approving the associated contracts so that we can see this to fruition. As a volunteer, as an individual, I'm always at awe at what we can do as groups of individuals benefiting towns as a whole. And I'm pretty excited on a personal level to see this program come to fruition and launch. So that said, let's talk a little about our Shop Vernon program. So in this presentation tonight, we're going to talk a little bit about the Shop Vernon Township Shop Local program, how it works, where you can get a card, and about the Vernon Economic Development Advisory Committee, and a little bit about Frank Credit as well. So let me take a little survey of the audience right now. What would you think if you could do all of this and save money in their property taxes? Who would like that? Raise your hands. Quite a few of you here. So, the answer is a program that we've been working with in terms of the team and other organizations for a number of months. The Shop Vernon program. I'm holding one of the cards right here. This program is a unique program that provides an incentive for residents, businesses, and renters, all for something that we do on a normal basis, that is shop local. For renters and residents, you'll be able to save money on your property taxes or receive rebates. And if you're a resident of Vernon Township, all you have to do is just simply swipe your card at a participating merchant, and a rebate will be applied to your property taxes at the end of the year. And if you're a renter, you're not excluded from the program. All you have to do is simply swipe your card, and at the end, you'll get a rebate as well. For businesses, this provides you with a unique opportunity to market yourself. This is just a key example of some of the things that you're getting with the program. And the EDAC is planning a variety of PR and marketing efforts over the next 6 to 12 months to promote the program, profiling businesses, facilitating PR and other opportunities for the businesses as a whole. So, you're probably as enthusiastic as I am about this program, right? So, when can you get this card? Well, expect your card in the mail after May 1st, 2014. And I want to emphasize something. Don't throw it away. It's going to come in an envelope with the mayor's letter and the card. If you didn't receive one, however, there's another opportunity for you to get the card as well. You can pick it up at the mayor's office or, coming soon, at select merchants across Vernon Township. This is a list of the participating merchants, and I'd be remiss if I didn't infuse a little bit of a personal story here. I've recently been diagnosed with a gluten disorder. So my wife and I were wondering, was sitting right over here. Hi, how are you? Sitting right there, and we were asking ourselves, where could we go to get some gluten-free products, right? And it just dawned on me that there's a health foods market in town. And they're part of the program. So I'm going to be shopping a lot more at your shop. But the point of the matter is that these are all shops that we frequent on a regular basis. We shop local here. So we're at Healthy Times, we're at Heaven Hill Farms, we're at Dragonfly Salon. We're buying parts at the local automotive place. These are the key participating merchants that are on the program, and more will be added as the program continues. With that said, that's a little bit about the program. And I have the first set of cards I'll get out in a few minutes. But a little bit about us. The Vernon Economic Development Advisory Committee is committed to encouraging, promoting, and assisting business growth, increasing employment opportunities, improving the quality of life of Vernon Township residents while enhancing the year of the environment, among other things. And I'd be remiss if I don't recognize the team that has put this together. I myself, George McConnor, am the co-chair, along with Teresa Vitti. And we have two of our committee members sitting there as well, Elmer Platts and Art. Unfortunately, Tony couldn't be here with us tonight, but I'd like to give the EDAC a round of applause. Also, a little about Credit. FinCredit is the origin or the original organization that started the Property Tax Card Incentive Program. Carmine DeFalco is here tonight talking to us about that. Carmine, you want to say a little bit about it, or?
Sure. Just a few words. Thank you very much, George.
Yeah.
First of all, I want to congratulate you and the mayor and the entire council for bringing this program to Vernon. We are very excited and we look forward to working with you. But this is a great opportunity, like George said, for both the merchants and the residents that earn property taxes. We have 7 townships that we do this in, and people have been saving $200, $300, as much as $1,000 for people that do capital expenditure. Say, for instance, we had one instance where a person purchased a brand new kitchen, cost them $10,000, and he got back $1,000 with a single sale. But for that, the guy had to shop in town at a participating merchant. The idea is to keep the money in town and not to lose money into other townships. We have another township that wants this program because they made a study that they're losing $20,000 per household to the neighboring towns. So this is a real plague in townships when you lose revenue. And so this will help you. And George, thank you very much for asking me to set results.
I'd also be remiss if I didn't thank our charter card sponsor, Highland State Bank. So thank you very much for sponsoring the initial program. With that said, we'd like to thank you very much for listening today. Teresa Vini, our co-chair, has graciously donated cake and coffee for the event, so they'll be available to everybody. And I'd like to take the opportunity to hand the first card to you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Okay.
We'll use it.
And I will hand the Councilor Clark.
Thank you. Very good. Good job, George. Thank you, George. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank the EDAC for their hard work and diligence in this program. I'm sure a lot of residents will be taking advantage of it. It is a worthwhile opportunity for them to save some money on taxes and to keep the business in Vernon. At this time, we have a proclamation. As many of you know, the Paralympics were held this year in Sochi, Russia. Vernon was fortunate enough to have its own hometown hero, Daniel Manzo, represent the United States on the U.S. Paralympic snowboarding team. Dan was kind enough to be here tonight so that we may represent him with the Youth Role Model of the Year proclamation. Dan, would you come forward with your family, please? Mr. Mayor, will you join me? Okay, whereas Daniel Manzo, a resident of Vernon Township and a 2008 Vernon High School graduate, suffered a lower leg impairment in a dirt bike accident at age 15. Whereas being a lifelong snowboarder on the slopes of Mountain Creek, Daniel refused to stop his love of the sport due to his adversity. Whereas through perseverance, drive, and spirit, Daniel, with the use of a prosthetic device, worked diligently to return to the slopes again, excelling to the national level. Whereas Daniel was chosen to be a member of the 2014 United States Paralympic snowboarding team representing the United States of America in Sochi, Russia, competing against the best in the world. Whereas an inspiration to others, Daniel volunteers at Children's Specialized Hospital in Mountainside, visiting parents recovering from similar traumatic injuries. Whereas with the support from relatives and friends, Daniel has shown his determination to succeed in adversity and be a positive influence on the Vernon Township youth as well as all residents. Now be it therefore proclaimed, Daniel Manzo, Role Model of the Year for the Youth of Vernon Township, presented on the 28th day of April, 2014. Vic Morata, Mayor, and Brian Lynch, Council President. We're so lucky to have you here. But if I remember, the weather in Sochi, Russia was a lot better than it was here when you were over there. So, not for me. Not for you. Well, we can't thank you enough for what you've done for our country. You brought spirit and pride, and you brought it all the way back to Sussex County, and we appreciate that. Mr. Mayor?
Dan, you're someone that we all look up to, someone that we know our youth will look up to, not only because you competed, not only because you didn't quit, but because you continue to give back to the youngsters who are suffering as you did and who are fighting through the way that you did. You make us proud. It's my pleasure to call you a friend.
Thank you. Thank you. The coffee and cake, we're going to wait until the end of the meeting for. That's okay? At this time, I'm going to ask for a motion to open the meeting to public comments. Before we have a motion, I am going to ask that conversations, discussions, and comments from the residents tonight, please refrain from doing that so we can move through the meeting and the council members can conduct business in an orderly fashion. Can I have a motion to move the meeting into public comments? Motion made by Councilmember Rizzuto. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second made by Councilmember Wetzel. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The floor is open to anyone who would like to speak. Seeing that there is no one coming forward to speak, can I have a motion to close the meeting? Close the public comments? Close, huh? Can I have a motion to close the public comments? Motion made by Councilmember Rizzuto, second by Councilmember Wetzel. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Mayor's report.
Thank you, Mr. President. This evening, I would like to report to the council that our Fire Marshal David Tynan has concluded his responsibilities with Vernon Township. He's resigned his position as our Fire Marshal, and his job description and advertisement have been posted and applications are being accepted through May 21st for a Fire Marshal. I also would like to announce for our residents in the Aspen Woods section, I'm sure that many of you already know that United Water has begun replacing the water mains in that area. I would like you also to know that Vernon Township will be adding 2 new fire hydrants in addition to the one that's by the Dairy Queen, so that we will be able to, in fact, provide hydrant water to our fire companies in the unfortunate event of a fire. There is a small charge that the town will be funding, but I know for a fact that it will impact positively on the insurance on the homes in that area, but more importantly, will allow our firemen quick access to the amount of water that they need in the event of a fire. The next 2 items that I want to talk to the council about, I wish were more positive. At the present time, we have a beautiful park at Maple Grange, and vandalism has struck again. We obviously have some people in this township. I really don't know what age. I hesitate to accuse a particular age group, but I can tell you that over the weekend, there was serious damage done to the restrooms, including breakage, including lamps destroyed, including urinals and bathrooms completely stuffed or clogged up. I just want to say to the people in Vernon Township, we're very fortunate to have these kinds of facilities. And for the people who don't appreciate that, I want you to know that we are going to take action. And I will leave it at that. So if there are people out there who think that it's funny or think that it's something that is cool to do, they get caught. They're not going to think it's so cool. As to the parents and to the other people who, in fact, behave and take care of our property, if you see something, say something. Let us know. We will take action. And in addition, there's a major problem that I hope I don't have to bring to the council, but we have people who love to walk their dogs in the park. You know, it's a great place to exercise and to take your dog for a walk. Those people who are doing that need to bring with them the facilities to take their pet droppings with them, because frankly, the exercise path and the walking path are becoming repulsive. So I hope that by this report and by my comments to the council, we won't have to go another step further. But I do know that in other communities where people have abused the privilege and refused to take responsibility for their pets, towns have banned pets from the park. I don't want to see that happen. But I'm saying here and now to the people who are using the park and doing it with disregard for their neighbors and for the area who don't clean up after their pets, you could ruin it for everybody. Let's as a community not have that happen. I said at the last meeting that I would have information concerning negotiations that are going on with United Water in regard to providing central water to our town center. And I can tell you that those conversations actually are on schedule. On the 14th of this month, the people from United Water met here with myself and with our council and our engineer and our finance people. You will recall that as we began this project, I had alluded to the fact that there may be a need for the town to do some bonding in order to, in fact, encourage United Water to move ahead. At the present time, that does not seem to be necessary right now. There may come a time in a couple of years or 3 as the town center expands that may happen. But at the present time, United Water has worked out a agreement, and the lawyers are now looking at it closely, as are the engineers, that could provide water to almost 75% of the town center without the need for bonding. And hopefully that'll give us the time to, in fact, look at some of the programs that the New Jersey DEP has available, actually with the help of Mike Fury. And I know that many of you will recognize Mike. He is one of the principals of Agri-Environmental. They do our water testing, and Mike is well known in the community for his knowledge about water. Has put us in touch with the people at DEP that, in fact, are responsible for grants. So at this point, we're going to try and do it without the need for bonding, but I can tell you that the first phase of water to the town center, which would include the building we're in, as well as some of the construction that's scheduled for the corner of Main Street and 94, should be available not too long into this year, certainly by fall, based upon the conversations that we had. As more specifics become available, obviously I'll bring them to the public, but at this point in time, the negotiations aren't final. But I can tell you that I was encouraged, as I think all who were at the meeting. I want to thank Councilwoman Murphy for being there. Hopefully, as you gentlemen are available, if and when you're available, and we have these in the future, it doesn't hurt to hear what the people have to say and see exactly how these negotiations go. So that being said, I would like to move to actually the last issue that I want to talk to you about this evening. As you well know, as we worked through the 2014 budget, part of that process was the capital budget. And I know last meeting when the budget was adopted, there were questions that were raised about bonding, about borrowing, and about what projects were being suggested. We will be bringing forward for your consideration at the first meeting in May a bond issue in the approximate amount of $1.8 million. Our plan is to, in fact, use the bond anticipation route and not go to permanent bond, that being paying off 10% of the principal and the interest every year, so that in 10 years the bond is paid. The reason I bring it up to you this evening is I asked our CFO to do an analysis because there always seems to be concern in the community about, are we overborrowing? Are we in good financial health? I would like you to know that since July of 2011, when the new form of government took office, Vernon Township has reduced the principal amount of monies owed, the principal amount of bond monies owed, by $5,009,969. Of that $5 million, approximately $500,000 or $504,000 was reduced based upon assessments of others, like the dam at Pleasant Valley Lake and the like, so that we, for municipal purposes, including the sewer bonds, have reduced that amount of money by $4,505,606. You will recall that when we were talking about the budget about a month or so ago, I shared with you an analysis that Mrs. Yetter had done concerning the payment of debt service in Vernon Township. The plan that she has developed with the help of Mr. Zuckerman and with our auditors and myself would allow Vernon Township to continue to provide the new equipment as well as the new structures and the repairs that are necessary without significantly increasing the amount of money that we pay off each year out of the operating budget. That number has averaged about $2.5 million principal and interest each year since we came to office. And except for the year in which the amount of money to buy the sewer system, which was, as you will recall, roughly $4 million, and of course the $2.8 million that we made available to see to it that the sewer could operate properly, that year there will be a spike in that $2.5 million payoff. That's one of the reasons why we put $150,000 into the sinking fund last year. It's in the sinking fund this year. And if the community, the township, chooses to continue to follow that plan, by the time the year arrives in which we have to pay off that $6.8 million, we will be able to do it without a significant increase. The payment that year will be somewhat higher, but it won't be $4 million higher. It will probably be a lot less than that. The point I'm making to you is this. Managing debt is a key responsibility of all municipalities in the state of New Jersey, and certainly here in Vernon. And so as you look across the recommendations that will be coming forward at the next meeting in terms of the things that are needed, I think that you will see that they are prudent, they are necessary, and we can do it without driving the tax rate up in Vernon Township. That concludes my report.
Okay, at this point, I'd like to move to the meeting minutes. Can I have a motion to adopt the minutes from the following meetings? Executive session meeting minutes of January 17th, 2014. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion made by Councilmember Murphy. Can I have a second? Second by Councilmember Rizzuto. All in favor? Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No, all in favor? Yes. Regular meeting minutes of February 10th, 2014. Can I have a motion? Motion made by Councilmember Rizzuto. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Wetzel. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Regular meeting minutes of February 24th, 2014. Can I have a motion? Motion made by Councilmember Rizzuto. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Kadesh. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Regular meeting minutes of March 24th, 2014. Can I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Motion made by Councilmember Murphy. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Wetzel. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Executive session meeting minutes of March 31st, 2014. Can I have a motion, please? Motion made by Councilmember Rizzuto. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Wetzel. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, special meeting minutes of March 31st, 2014. May I have a motion? Motion made by Councilmember Rizzuto. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Murphy. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. For the consent agenda this evening, actually, what I would like to do is I would like to do something a little out of order tonight because we have someone that needs to be recognized. If everybody would go to Resolution 1470. This is a resolution recognizing the Municipal Clerks Week. The municipal clerk is the oldest of the public servants in local government. Not that Lauren is the oldest person, but,
She's aged.
yeah, since she's got here, she's aged, right? Along with the tax collector, the profession traces back before biblical times. The beginning of the office of the city clerk can be traced back to 1272 AD in the history of the Corporation of Old London, England. This resolution gives recognition not only to Vernon's municipal clerk, but the municipal clerks of all of New Jersey and marks Municipal Clerks Week, May 4th through the 10th on 2014. May I have a motion, please, to accept this resolution?
Motion.
Motion made by Councilmember Murphy. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Kadesh. Any comments? I would like to make a comment that there's a lot of times you look for a person in the town municipal center to do something, and everything always seems to wind up in the clerk's office. And Lauren, since you've arrived here, you've been going at a breakneck speed. And I would like to thank you for your work. I would like to thank you for your professionalism and your candor at times, which is always welcome. And I'd just like to thank you for just doing a really, really good job. Can you please have a round of applause for Lauren?
I'll second that.
Pleasant.
Absolutely pleasant. Please call the roll on that resolution.
Councilmember Kadesh?
Of course.
Councilmember Murphy?
Yes.
Councilmember Rizzuto?
Absolutely.
Councilmember Wetzel?
Definitely.
Council President Branch?
Absolutely, yes.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Consent agenda 1463, authorizing fireworks request at Minerals Resort. Chapter 330-5 of the Township Code designates that firework displays are a temporary outdoor activity for which a permit or a license may be necessary. Chapter 263-38 provides for a fire watch for these exhibitions. This resolution authorizes the fireworks display at Minerals for which the McAfee Fire Department has already agreed that they will provide fire watch. Chapter 33 of the 2006 International Fire Code allows for the township to require a resolution for approval of these firework displays. Resolution 1464. This resolution supporting a no-passing zone on Route 94. The New Jersey DOT staff has completed an investigation on Route 94 regarding no-passing zones. The NJDOT has determined that existing centerline markings on Route 94 are in compliance with design standards. As a requirement of the NJDOT protocol to update their traffic regulation order, the Township of Vernon must pass a resolution recognizing the NJDOT investigation. Resolution 14-65, authorizing the cancellation of outstanding checks over 6 months old to municipal cash balances. In the event that the township makes a payment via a check and it remains uncashed for more than a period of 6 months, the check is considered stale and that the balances must be canceled and the amounts restored to the township cash balances. The CFO has reviewed the request for the cancellation of checks, and this resolution authorizes this transfer. Resolution 1466, a resolution approving the participation with the State of New Jersey federal grant program administered by the Division of Criminal Justice, Department of Law and Public Safety. The Police Department receives funding through from a federal grant program for the purpose of having law enforcement officials in the township schools. These officers are already paid through the township, and the township's match represents the cost of their salary and benefits. This resolution authorizes the township to apply for a $60,000 grant to offset these costs. A resolution 1467 awarding a contract to Air Group in the amount not to exceed $7,680 for preventative maintenance agreement for the HVAC system located in the municipal building. The current maintenance contract for the municipal building HVAC system is expiring. After soliciting quotes, the township will be awarding the maintenance contract to the lowest responsible bidder, Air Group. This resolution authorizes that award. Resolution 1468, the acceptance of a performance bond from United Water, New Jersey for water main replacement in Aspen Woods. United Water is performing a water line upgrade in the area of Aspen Woods. United Water is required to provide a performance bond to guarantee that they will complete this work in accordance with the applicable codes. The bond has been reviewed by the township engineer and attorney and been deemed to be sufficient. This resolution authorizes the township to accept the bond from United Water. Resolution 14-69, support of a water tax to fund the loss of land equity for property owners in the Highlands region. As many residents of Vernon know, a large portion of Vernon is designated as Highlands. This designation limits development in sections of Vernon in the Highlands region, which results in higher taxes for residents here. In 2004, the legislature passed the Highlands Water and Protection Act, which requires preservation in these areas to protect the water supply. However, the water gathered from these regions not only supplies towns in the Highlands region, but towns throughout the state who are not required to pay any charge for this benefit. This resolution urges the legislature to impose a water tax on communities that benefit from the use of the water from the Highlands region. Can I have a motion to adopt these resolutions 1463 through 1469? Motion made by Councilmember Rizzuto. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilmember Wetzel.
Councilmember Kadesh?
Yes.
Councilmember Murphy?
Yes.
Councilmember Rizzuto?
Yes.
Councilmember Wetzel?
Yes.
Council President Lynch?
Yes. Thank you. Okay. Second reading of ordinance. Ordinance amending the salary ordinance for non-union employees. Ordinance 1404 does not set a salary for any one non-union employee, nor does it give any employee a raise. Ordinance 1404 merely establishes salary ranges for each position pursuant to New Jersey statute and case law. As you may be aware, the council workshopped this ordinance and publicly discussed a reduction in the bottom numbers on the ranges in the March 31st, 2014 meeting. May I have a motion to open this ordinance for public discussion?
Move.
Motion made by Councilmember Kadesh. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Wetzel. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Kadesh?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Would anyone like to step forward? Okay, seeing that no members of the public are wishing to come forward, can I have a motion to close to the public hearing and adopt this ordinance?
I have a question.
You have to close it, right?
Have to close it to this, and then we can talk.
Yeah. So he made his motion.
I made a motion.
Okay, can I have a second?
Second?
Okay, please call the roll.
Councilmember Kadesh?
Yes.
Councilmember Murphy?
Yes.
Councilmember Rizzuto?
Yes.
Councilmember Wetzel?
Yes.
Council President Lynch?
Your question?
Question I have is what you just read, you said that this is the salary range, it by no means states that anybody would be getting a raise. Did I remember hearing at the last meeting or reading someplace in here, and I'm only bringing it up because of what you just read, that if there was a raise, it would be retroactive till January of 2014?
I don't remember saying that or seeing that anywhere.
Okay. I'm just clarifying because it,
If you find it, let me know.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't remember anything.
Okay, ordinance 14-05. An ordinance of the Township of Vernon in the County of Sussex, New Jersey, authorizing the purchase of various equipment and repairs in, by,
we didn't vote on it.
and for the township.
Mr. President, are we going to vote on
We can vote on
404?
it.
I asked for a vote.
Adopt. He said to close the public hearing and adopt ordinance 1404. There was a motion and a second.
I asked for a motion to close it to public hearing and adopt the ordinance.
And you did say that, but if I had a question, I wouldn't have thought you would have done that. So, anyway, just,
Okay, you want to vote again? We
no,
can
that's
vote again.
fine. I'm just
That's fine with me.
clarifying that if somebody has a question, we probably shouldn't be going to adopt it right away.
Okay, you want me to read this over? This ordinance provides for an appropriation of $112,000 from the capital fund for equipment purchases and various repairs. These funds have already been appropriated for as part of the capital fund account in 2014. This ordinance does not expend funds from the capital fund, but merely appropriates them. As each expense is required to be incurred, the council will vote on a separate resolution expending each fund. May I have a motion to open the meeting, open this ordinance to public hearing?
I'll make the motion.
Motion made by Councilmember Wetzel. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Kadesh. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Kadesh?
Yes.
Councilmember Murphy?
Yes.
Councilmember Rizzuto?
Yes.
Councilmember Wetzel?
Yes.
Council President Lynch?
Yes. Anyone like to step forward and speak about this ordinance? Seeing no other members of the public are wishing to come forward, may I have a motion to close this public hearing and adopt the ordinance 14-05?
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Councilmember Wetzel. Can I have a second?
Second?
Second by Councilmember Murphy.
Councilmember Kadesh?
Yes.
Councilmember Murphy?
Yes.
Councilmember Rizzuto?
Yes.
Councilmember Wetzel?
Yes.
Council President Lynch?
Yes. Okay, council remarks. Councilmember Kadesh.
Well, first of all, to go back to the salary ranges, for those of you who weren't there, during the work session, we did lower many of the salaries by $10,000, and I thought that was a good move forward. The other question I have is, I'd like to ask the mayor, one of the things that Dave Tynan was doing before he left was working on a grant proposal, right?
Which one are you talking about, Dan?
Well,
The radio? Are we talking about the radio?
I'm not sure what it was because we never got the report. But what I'm asking is, a lot of grant writers get a commission of the grant. Will Dave Tynan get a commission of
No, he did
whatever
not.
thing is received?
Not one penny beyond his salary, Dan.
Thank you.
Anything else, Dan?
That's it.
Councilmember Wetzel.
Yeah, I'd like to compliment the Economic Development Committee. Ms. Jean and I tried to start the same program, I guess about 3 or 4 years ago, and it didn't meet with success. So I'm very happy to see that your program is going to meet with success. I'd also like to compliment Mr. Zaretsky for his role with alcohol, because I was involved with selling legal death also. And it's a fine line that you walk when individuals come in looking for alcoholic drinks, because there are so many different ways for fake proof, and the individual with the fake proof doesn't get into trouble. It's the bartender and the owner who get into trouble. So again, my hat's off for running a tight ship. That's it.
Councilmember Murphy.
I have a question for you. You mentioned about, you asked about whether or not I was interested in being a liaison.
Yeah, I'm going to do that under my comments.
Oh, okay. I see Mr. McGowan's here. I went to the Board of Ed meeting last Thursday, and I stayed till the end, and Robert Oliver was there too. He stayed till the end. That meeting ran from 7 p.m. till 1:30 in the morning. It was a marathon, to say the least. Learned a lot. A few of the things that they did, they had many presentations, so it was an agenda filled with a lot, including the Teacher of the Year. But something that they did, they had a presentation, and I don't know if the teachers or the classes, if it's something that they actually would do or would consider doing, is they had a small program with the preschool children that they actually brought them in with their little tables and they showed how they learn. And they actually had it all set up on a screen. It's called Tools of the Mind. I thought that it might be something that would be beneficial if they actually brought something like that to a council meeting, because it is televised. At some point, it would get the public in the community to actually see what they are doing with some of the preschool children and how they're trying to get some of these little programs implemented. I mean, pretty much what we basically see, or we see the cost of the budget, we see what the busing costs, we see what everything, the cost per pupil. But I don't know that unless you're really involved in some of those programs, do you really get to see the day-to-day interaction of what some of these programs are. And it was actually a nice little program to see where they start. So I'm not sure if it's something that the Board of Ed would even be interested in doing, but I don't know if it's something the council's interested in. It's just something to bring it to the community. But anyway, that's pretty much it. But as far as the liaison, I guess when you get to your portion of it, I'd be interested to know what actually it entailed when you were doing
Okay.
that. That's it.
Councilmember Rizzuto.
Yes, I'd like to first, again, extend my thanks and recognition to young Mr. Monzo, Dan Monzo. You made us all very, very proud. I know your dad, I know your mom, and we certainly, you've made them very proud, and I know being a parent, how that must make them feel. So, nice going.
I'll second that.
Secondly, Mr. Zaretsky's here, and I couldn't help but note that as Councilman Wetzel was complimenting him on his dedication to a situation, that Mr. Zaretsky's business is indeed a model of commitment, certainly to the environment. And drive along 517 and go a little bit further towards the Lutheran Church, and you'll see a solar farm. That farm powers his business. And I know it's something that he loves to talk about. So not only does he, talk the talk, he walks the walk. And I'm really very proud to point that out to people when they say, what are those? And I said, that's the solar farm that powers the pub and the restaurant over there. So he wow, that's pretty good. Again, my compliments on being able to put some money back into the economy and also taking advantage of those robbing utilities that go after us all. So, thank you very much.
I just want to announce in the beginning, I had asked previously for Councilmember Kadish, and I asked also Councilmember Murphy if they would take on the responsibility as liaisons to the school board, the Board of Education, and they graciously accepted. And what happens is 2 or 3 times a year there are liaison meetings, and the agenda is either set by the Board of Education or the township, and both of you would be able to set that agenda. And you would probably go through the clerk, and the clerk would have access to the Board of Education secretary. So I'd like to give them a round of applause for stepping up for that. I also want to say that the Township of Vernon is featured on the State of New Jersey's Travel and Tourism webpage. The state's website gives a homage to many of the wonderful attractions that Vernon has to offer. I wanted to announce that the office of the Township Clerk shortly will have available at no charge to residents travel and tourism brochures and maps of New Jersey featuring attractions of our great state. Just another reason why we had to do that resolution tonight. Thank you, Lauren. Just want to announce that there will be a slight time change for our workshop meeting being held on May 5th, 2014. The meeting will commence at 6:30 instead of 7:30. That being said, any other business? Motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Wetzel, second by Lynch. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Good night, everybody.